Well, good morning or evening, afternoon, depending on where you are and where you're watching and when you're watching everything else. So it's good to see each and every one of you. Thank you so much for taking just a few moments out of your day to come out and hang out with us. It's always good to see each and every one of you. If you're watching the replay, please say hi in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. Anyway, I have a brand new guest this morning. I'm super excited to have her along with me. It's none other than Tori, and she has just started her own YouTube channel, although she's had an online presence for quite a while with Quilting on the Side podcast. I hope I got the name of that right. I was a guest of her and Andy's a year or so. I think it was last year because I think I got the message when I was in Louisville. Okay, good. Okay, I got my years right. Sometimes years go on forever and you just don't really realize it was 5 years ago. Anyway, enough babbling for me. I'm going to turn over to Tori and just let her introduce herself, tell us a bit more about who she is and all that good stuff. So it's all over to you, Tori.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Tori from Hey Tori. I think it's heytori.tech too. There was already a heytori.tech, so it had to be two. I do have another YouTube channel called Quilt. It was a quilt patch by Tori. So that was my old business name. So I've been on YouTube for a little bit, but this is a brand new channel and I haven't touched YouTube in probably like 3 years. So it all feels really new to me. It all looks a little different than it used to. But I'm really happy to be here. I guess I could talk a little bit more about how I started quilting. So I've been in quilting for since my whole life, really. I started quilting when I was 9. That's when I made my very first quilt. So I've been quilting for over 20 years. Um, the very first quilt I made was, or completely on my own anyway, was a rag quilt, and it had lime green faux fur in it. And I had to have the lime green faux fur in it. I absolutely loved lime green, purple, and turquoise. And my mom tried to talk me out of it because she was also a quilter, and I had to have it. So that's what my very first quilt that I remember making completely on my own was a rag quilt. It was around the world, just squares in a rag quilt. And since then, I made quilts on and off until I turned it into a business. And that happened when, so after I got married, so 2 weeks after I got married, my husband decided he wanted to join the army. Yeah, after we got married. And we started moving all over the place. So what I did was really dived into quilting to help make our houses feel like homes. So no matter where we go, we can bring all of our quilts with us and it instantly turns every house into a home. Um, and after I got burned out with teaching, I looked to providing financial help for my family by selling quilts. So I really looked at my skills at that point. I was like, okay, I could either do baking or I could do quilting. So I tried cupcakes and I tried making baby blankets. And my cupcakes, they tasted really good, but they looked awful. So I went with quilting. So I started making baby blankets to sell. And then I switched that around like a year later after I realized that wasn't really profitable into pattern design and teaching workshops. And then I burned myself out on that as well. And I figured that that really wasn't where my passion was. Making patterns was fun, but it wasn't something that I could do long term. So then I started, but I really loved having a business. So that's when I dived into the business side. And then you have Hey Tori, which is my coaching. So I do digital marketing coaching for quilters and crafters, and I help them with their course design. So that is the long story or long introduction of how I got to heytori.tech.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll talk more about you and your business and what you do and everything else because I know a little bit about what you do, but not fully. So we'll dive more into that in the near future because I believe you have written a book as well. And yeah, I haven't had a chance to purchase that yet, but that is on my list to do in the very near future because I think you have a goal, I think of what is it, 100 books by Christmas? Is that correct?
I do 100 books by the end of the year. So we've sold 5 so far. So this is
Okay, well,
sure.
you got to start somewhere, and yeah, I can get closer to that. So that might be very interesting to those who are content creators or are thinking about content creators, whether here it's up here on YouTube or Instagram or the TikTok or wherever else you might be. So that might be something interesting for you guys to look into. If you're not a content creator, it may not be of as much interest into you, but then you never know, it may help you out in some way as well. So let's see who's here in the chat, and then we'll move on to what I'm going to work on this morning, along with Miss Tori, and we will go from there. So it looks like Melanie Taylor is here first, along with Miss Polly. Good to see both of you. Good morning, Miss Brenda. She's put out her sticker. You know, the members who are paid members are able to do a special sticker message thing. It comes up in bright green or purple. I don't know what color. You know, I don't know. I think they're all green. I don't know. Once a month as part of their membership program. It's an optional thing where you just, if you want to financially support the channel, you can. It's totally optional. I don't expect people to do it, but it's there if you want it to be. Dragonfly Donna, it's good to see you. Good morning, Miss Kathy. She says, good morning. I made a Hertz donut run and coffee is brewing. Littles are waking up. I'm assuming Hertz is a local donut chain or shop out in Iowa, because I've never heard of that, but it sounds tasty. Good morning to Miss Tori. Good morning, Miss Misty. Mary is here with us as well. Good morning to you. Good afternoon, Miss Christina. It's good to see you as well. Good morning, Miss Cora from Northwest Indiana. Layla Young says, happy Saturday, Sean and Tori. Let's see, Deb Esther Pug Mum Quilter is here. And let's see, Muriel Hanson. Am I missing anybody? Terry, good morning to you. Tracy Milton says, good morning, Sean and Tori. If you have a channel, please put your channel link in as you want to. Obviously that's spammers, but you guys know what you're doing. You're always really good, so I don't have to put any restrictions on you, which is really fun. Anyway, Miss Tori, what do you have to work on this morning? I'm assuming you brought a project. I know we talked about that briefly earlier.
I did. So I have a whip that has been in progress for, how old is my daughter? 3, so 4 years. It's a postcard from Sweden, and it's supposed to be king size. It is currently full size. So what I've got are all the pre-cut triangles to sew together.
Oh, that sounds like
They're
fun.
all like, it's like a big rainbow in front of me. So I'll be pulling those
I
up.
love that. All those bright colors, you know, that's my love language. So that is awesome to see. So that is a lot of fun. Let's see. I just want to say good morning to Patchwork Quilting Classes. It's good to see you. And I see you have a channel. I'm going to go ahead and get you added into my list real quick. So just bear with me a moment.
I should go grab the quilt so you guys can see it. If you've never seen postcards,
Yeah, that'd be great. I'll keep them entertained while you do that. All right. Sorry, just bear with me a second. All right. So
this quilt was really popular a few years ago, and it was a free pattern for a while. I think it still might be, but it's just a bunch of triangles.
that's pretty. I like that. That'd be a good scrappy project too.
Oh yeah. The hardest part is that you can't make them, like, you know, with Haskell triangles, you can make them 4 at a time, you pick up 2 at a time, you pick up 8, or there was another one that was like 16 or something crazy. But this is individual triangles, which is, I mean, there's probably a way you could make it more than 1 at a time, but I went with 1 at a time. So it's a lot of sewing.
Yeah, that'd be a good question to throw into the chat, actually, is like when you do halves, because you said, you know, there's different ways of doing it, 2 at a time, 8 at a time, and all that sort of stuff. What is your preferred method of making half square triangles? Is it 1 at a time, 2 at a time, 4 at a time, or something else? I'd love to hear your response, Tori, and then also everybody else in the chat as well, because I'll let you know my answer after
Well,
you.
thank you for the nice comments on the quilt. My favorite way is probably the 4 at a time. I would say I really like the X factor that you can like do the 2 and 2 and then cut it like that. But it's hard when you have multiple colors in a quilt, because you know you need to have the ability to mix up the colors for those half square triangles. So I don't always get to do it that way, but so usually it's 2 at a time if I have to mix up a bunch of colors.
Right. But I guess I'm the weirdo in the bunch, which which is nothing unusual. I'm a one at a time guy for the most part, unless the pattern calls for it differently. A lot of times, like these patterns, like these call for like 2 at a time or 4 at a time. If the pattern calls for it, I will follow along just because they've done it for a reason.
Yeah.
But if I have my own way, I usually do it 1 at a time, and then the scraps that are off cuts, unless it's really really small, I tend to use in a different project, or sometimes use it as a border. So I try not to to waste it there as well. So all right, let's see. Tracy says, love it. I always wanted to make that quilt, which is referring to the one that you just showed us a minute ago. Yeah, I've seen that before, and it's on my list to do as well. Good morning, Miss Leanne. It's good to see you as well. She uses the AccuQuilt cutter for triangles. That's a good option there as well. Kathy says 2 at a time. It's more accurate for her. And that's why, yeah, that's probably my reason I don't like doing too many at once, because I feel like it's going to, thank you. Tasha's here, and she said I still have Tori all by herself, and you just listening to me in the background. Okay, thank you so much. That's what I love about my viewers. If I goof up something, they're always here to tell me, hey, look, Sean, you messed up. Good morning, good evening to Miss Jan. It's good to see you there as well. Dragonfly Donna says, getting out my half square triangles wand, waving it and having them done perfect is my preferred method. Okay, if you managed to perfect that art, you tell me how to do it or how to send my stuff to you, and we'll make it work.
I feel like you need a little extra room.
Yeah, that'd be nice, right? Polly says, depending on the pattern, 8 at a time is my go-to. Carrie Quilt says, good morning to everybody. I think I said good morning to Tasha. And Joyce, good morning to you. She says 8 at a time, no bias edge. I know I've missed stuff here.
True, no bias
I
edge.
apologize in advance. Amanda's here from Stitching Life Together. Amanda, I've missed all my quilty friends. I sent you an email yesterday, Amanda, if you haven't had a chance to see that. Just wanted to let you know that it's there since you're here. Okay, Jan missed the beginning. Who is my guest? It is Tori from. Oh, now I've forgotten the name of it.
And I was
It's Tori.
Tech too.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I'll get it right eventually. I am terrible with names. I was telling Tori early this week that I had to go on a business trip up to Baltimore, and I met a bunch of people that I've been working with for 10 years but have never met. And everyone knew who I was because I was like the only guy along with 6 ladies from our team. So I was easy to recognize, but I couldn't remember half of these people's names. And I was like, I wish we had name tags. So if you ever organize a work conference, please put those name tags out there for people like me. So
I second that. I'm also terrible with names.
I just tell people I'm terrible with names. I'm not shy about it. I just say, hey, look, I'm bad with names. I'm going to forget your name in 5 minutes. Just deal with it. It'll be fine. And most people will come back and tell you, yeah, no, it's not just you. So don't be afraid to tell people that. So there you go. All right, what am I working on? Well, I kind of gave you a hint already. I pulled out my little pattern. I am working on this because I figured Halloween is next week.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured the Halloweenies pattern is good. And this week, if I actually get it right, you can see the little skeleton dog here on one side. Well, I can never remember where the camera is here. So we got to try and get some of this done. Will I get the whole thing done in this live? I don't like my chances, but we'll get as much done as we can, and then you can come back tomorrow and see what progress I made on my podcast. Okay, so Tracy Milton says, I like the triangles on a roll. I think that's what it's called. Okay, I'm not sure I'm familiar with that one. I'd like to know more about it because triangles on a roll sounds good. Oh, I think I know what that is now. I think that's the one where you do the bigger triangles and then you cut the strips. I know what it is now. Yeah, I've done that once for a quilt, like for a pinwheel quilt, and that turned out really nicely.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, I'll have to pull up. Basically, you cut out triangles. I think it's like at a 60-degree angle or something like that, and you sew them all together, and then you can cut the strips into you cut it into 2 or something like that. Or it's something like it's on paper. Okay, we'll have to go. That'll be a Google search for us all later on to go check it out and see how that's all going. Kathy Dallas says, I use a block lock when done. I do 1, 2, or 8, no 4s. I don't like bias on the outside of the square. Okay, well, that's good as well. Tasha's asking, Polly, do you find the 8 at a time makes them wonky at all? I assume no, if that's your favorite. Yeah, that's kind of my concern. Like I always feel like when I'm doing too many at once, it's going to slip. So
Yeah,
I don't
mine
know.
gets a
Maybe
little wonky. It
yeah,
gets a little
and it
wonky, but I
might be
like to trim it off.
yeah, and it may be because I prefer to do one at a time. I just feel like eight's going to be bad, but I don't know. At the end of the day, you do what works for you. All right, so let's see what's going on. We'll go ahead and we already talked about how you learned how to quilt. I think
Yeah.
you lost on this briefly, but does anyone else in your family quilt or craft or do anything else like that?
Yeah, so I actually taught myself to quilt. Like I said, I was a military spouse. So I've lived far from my family for most of my, well, married life anyway, the last 12, 12 years, 13 years. Um, so my mom is a quilter. She started quilting around the time that I started, so around 9, when I was 9. But she's not a big piecer anymore. She loves the free motion quilting. She has a long arm. She has an A1 long arm. So she does a lot of free motion quilting. She's like an award-winning long armor now. She loves like McTavishing, that kind of style of quilting, where she does a lot of dense free motion quilting. It's absolutely gorgeous. I have lots of quilts. Actually, all of my large pattern covers are quilted by her.
Oh, nice.
Um, yeah, so I got to send them to her to get quilted, which is nice. So it's nice when you have it in the family. And then I helped her set up like her website. And so, because she wanted to start teaching. So she also teaches for her guild now and does traveling so she can go visit other guilds to teach about her long arming, her quilting, and she's gotten really into um paper piecing, which is interesting to watch her. I saw her a few months ago, and she was using these itty bitty like post stamp, like we call them hexagons, hexies, the little
Hexies,
tiny
yeah.
ones. Making these like snowflakes out of them, and it was crazy to watch her sit there and just do this. And then she was like prepping them, and she had me count them all out. So I had these little stacks of little mini hexagons on the table, helping her count them all out. Um, but she taught me a little bit, but mainly I taught myself via books and YouTube. That's when I got really into it. And you can see my very first machine that I learned a free motion quilt on is up there.
Oh,
And
nice.
I was able to graduate from that to this one a few years ago. And then I learned how, wow, it's dusty. And I learned the long arm at my local shop. So I taught myself the long arm too. And I did that professionally for a bit when we were in Arizona. But yeah, that was my
Sure.
quilting. I forgot your question. I'm sorry. I got kind of like
No,
zoomed.
you answered it. You were talking about your family. Who else in your family crafts? Yeah,
Oh
so you
yeah.
answered it quite nicely.
My sister
Um,
does too. My sister, she's my twin. We both started quilting at the same time, so she also quilts, but she's a nurse and she loves it, so she quilts when she has time. And now she just had a baby, so she doesn't have a lot of time to do a lot of crafting yet, but maybe as the baby gets older.
yes, absolutely. Your sister sounds like mine. Well, we're not twins. We're 12 years apart. So yeah, not even close to being twins. But yeah, she was a nurse as well, and yeah, she quilted a little bit before she had her 2 kids, and now that they're both toddlers, so she doesn't get a lot of time, unfortunately. But we're hoping to that she can, and I need to get back in contact with her so we can actually get together sometime and actually do some sewing virtually because doing it in person is a little difficult because she's 10,000 miles away. So, but that's awesome. Yeah, like I think my sister and I are the only ones that have really quilted in a number of generations. I think one of my aunts did. She made a bubble quilt for my sister when she was born, but that's really the only quilting on my side of the family. I don't think anyone quilts on Amanda's side of the family. Amanda's my wife for anyone that might be new to the channel. So yeah, but everybody, pretty much everybody in my family, my immediate family, has done some sort of craft of some description. My brother was an exceptional. Um, well, anything he touched, he did really well at drawing, painting. he was an exceptional stonemason, so he was able to carve into stone and do like headstones and that sort of thing there. Oh my goodness, he did some beautiful work doing that. My dad does stained glass windows. So he works with glass, and he's done some, painting as well, like, native Australian flowers and that sort of thing there. So he has that talent. My mum sewed a little bit. And then I think most of my aunts did some sort of crafting as well. So yeah, we had a lot of stuff, but yeah, I think I'm the first one to take up a sewing machine and actually make some quilts. So Kathy says, my husband thinks I could really make money selling my quilt. I said, the math doesn't math on that. I wish you could talk to him and explain why. Yeah, that's a whole separate topic. Yeah, because I remember one of my wife's family members came to me, sent me a picture of this beautiful quilt on Facebook, and she's like, that'd be really pretty, and I think you could probably sell for $600. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm sure I could, but the materials for that alone would be $300, and then by the time I put it together, I'd be working for like 12 cents an hour. So so I think sometimes people see stuff and they mean the very, very best. They really do, but until you realize how many hours it takes and everything else, they just don't realize. But they're trying to be nice and that sort of thing there. So Jan says, I need to finish my nephew's quilt. Yes, I do. That actually is on my list to do soon. I was thinking about doing that this weekend, but I decided to do this project instead just because Halloween is next week. So tune in next week, and there's a very, very good chance that we'll see some more work on my nephew's quilt. That's the one where I've been doing the trash trucks and excavators and that sort of thing there. So thank you for that. I do appreciate that. It actually is on my list to try and finish up some of these long dwelling whips that I've had out forever and ever. I have another one called Nisha's quilt, which is a lot of applique blocks. That quilt top is now done. I'm so happy about that. You'll get to see that tomorrow as well. Good morning, Jennifer from Prep for Eternity Homestead. It's good to see you. I think we have your link somewhere. Look. Let's try that and see what happens there. Amanda says, I say quilting is in my blood. My grandma, great-grandma, and several cousins and aunts quilted or still quilt. So does my mum. And that's a different Amanda to my wife, just in case anyone's getting confused. Apparently, Polly says she doesn't have any problems at 2 or 8 at a time. I usually oversize a little to square up. Oh, that's a good point. You could do that. I'm going to butcher it today. Dubraka, I know I really have butchered it today. Good morning, everyone from Canada. Sean, I have confidence that you can say my name. I'm half asleep today, so I know I'm gonna butcher that one. Jan's picking on me, says you'll get too old before I finish. That is probably true. He can give it to his son when he's grown. He'll be fine. I'm terrible.
How long have you been working on that one?
A couple of years. Okay. I mean, he'll be 5 next month. No, not next month. The month after. I'll get it done before he graduates high school. My problem is that there's too many shiny things out there, and I have to do all the shiny things. So, but no, seriously speaking, I have thought about that quilt top, and it is on my list to do. And if it hadn't been for Halloween being next week, I would have actually dropped out this week there. But no, please encourage folks. Please encourage me to do these things. Our mate Andy is actually the reason that Misha's quilt top is now done, because I did a video about a month ago when we were up in Pennsylvania, showing all my current whips, including the ones that have been here since Napoleon was a boy, and her and several others actually said we'd love to see that finished. So that actually gave me the inspiration to pull those blocks out, lay them out on my living room floor, and actually get that done. So yeah, your comments and your encouragement does mean the world to me, and it actually does make a difference. So I know Jan's coming from a place of love. She's just encouraged me to finish it, and I really do appreciate that. And I think we will get that one done. Let's try and get the quilt top done by the end of the year. Let's just set ourselves a nice little goal to get that there as well. So Nancy is here with us from Wisconsin. It's good to see you. She says, who is your guest today? I'm just coming on. It's Miss Tori, and she has social media presences elsewhere, but she's just got a brand new YouTube channel, and it is called It's Tori Tech.
Hey, Tori.tech.
I'll get it right. I'll get this right one of these days. So there you go. Um, I just put a link in there as well. So if you're not subscribed or if you haven't seen Tori, which may apply to a lot of you because she's brand new, and I think the last time I checked, she had about 25 subscribers, right?
Did I hit 25?
I don't know. Well, you probably have by now. Uh,
I've only had it for nine days, I think. 10. I think today's
yeah,
day 10.
yeah. And it takes time to get things going. So,
Oh yeah.
oh, you're 27 now. Okay, so I was pretty close.
Thank you.
So, yeah, thank you all for supporting her. I love it when you guys go over and support my guests because I want it to be a two. As I was telling her earlier, I want this to be a two-way street. You know, like I get the benefit from people coming to watch me each and every week. But you know, it's also good. You know, I don't want it to just be me getting something out of it each week. You know, I want my guests to get something out of it as well. So thank you all so much for supporting my guests week in and week out. I do my best to bring on my favorites where I can, and then also go out and look for new people that you may not have seen before as well. So that's always a lot of fun. All right.
So I
Trying to do
remember
this.
during our podcast when we were talking that's the reason what you were talking about when it comes to holding you accountable. Wasn't that the reason you started your channel? Was to help you sew and get projects done?
You have an absolutely brilliant memory. So yes, that is exactly right. Yeah, my wife watches a lot of knitting podcasts, and the format for the knitting podcast and mine are very similar. I kind of took inspiration from that, kind of copied or replicated that process over on my channel. And yeah, they were actually these podcasters were getting stuff done, and then like knocking out a quilt top you can do in a day or two, or if it's one of these projects, maybe 3 or 4 if you're smart. But if you want to knit a sweater or a pair of socks or something like that, it can take a few days. So, but these people are knocking out all these projects in every other week, and I'm like, okay, well, if these people are doing it, maybe if I start a channel, maybe I can. So yes, you're 100% correct there. That one of the reasons I started the channel was to actually get stuff done, and it has worked beautifully because I have to have something to show each week, and you guys encouraging me helps me out immensely as well. So yes, that is 100% correct. Sorry, I'm just making sure I got this pattern right because I do not want to have to pull out my very, very bestest friend or anything else like that. So far, so good.
I'm slowly remembering. Oh, sorry.
No, after you.
I'm slowly remembering that I cut these on my old table, which has a dip in it. So this is fun. So it has like a little curve to all of the.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I'm doing lots of trimming when I'm done here.
There you go. Yeah, so I'm working on this pattern, and in particular today, working on this block over here that looks like a skeleton.
That's cute.
I know. I'm really looking forward to seeing this one done. And surprisingly enough, I kind of shied away from doing this block because I thought it'd be a lot of cutting, but it wasn't. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I think there was only like 75 pieces or something like this in this block, which after cutting out this monster,
oh,
this has like 200 and some pieces in there, if I remember correctly. It's got like a million pieces. I was actually working on some of that last week on the live when I had Chris on. So yes, get back, Jack. I like that from Layla. Leanne says I should go live on my channel when I'm sewing to inspire people to be crafty. Yeah, go for it, Leanne. People will come and watch you, and yeah, you actually. Sometimes I get stuff done. Sometimes I don't. It doesn't matter. I just like hanging out with all my quilty friends. Good morning, Miss Dawn. It's good to see you. Nancy says, Sean, I always inspire. Well, thank you. That really means the world to me. Like I just come on because you guys inspire me. You encourage me to get stuff done, whether you realize it or not. And if I can help someone get behind their, sit in their sewing chair for a little while and get started again after they get out of this, out of a sewing funk or something like that, then we're doing well. Good morning, Miss Susan. It's good to see you as well. I don't think I said good morning to you earlier. I did in my head, but I sometimes don't say it out loud. So if I miss you, it's not because sometimes it's because I didn't see it. It's not because I'm ignoring you. We'll just say that just to be on the safe side. Nancy also says, when I watch a podcast, I get inspired to sew as well. That is awesome. And that's one of the reasons I like going to quilt shows, is because I get very inspired by going to that. Even though some of the quilting that these people do is stuff that I may never get the skill set to do, that's okay. It's fun to be able to see what people can do, even if I can't do it right now. Or what else was I going to say? You're talking about your mom doing FPP in the tiny little pieces.
Yeah.
I've been working on Toasty, and I'm actually in a section right now of tiny little pieces, probably not the hexies. I haven't touched hexies yet for a whole different reason, because everyone that jumps on the hexies gets on that hexie bandwagon and gets sucked down that rabbit hole. They all just love it. And I'm scared to go down that rabbit hole, because I figure I will as well. And that's the only thing that I'll ever do again. And my other projects, including my nephew's quilt, need some love. So sorry, hexies. I'm never saying never, but not now, because I know what's going to happen. So, but FPP, yes, I'm enjoying it more and more. I think I'll always be a traditional piecer, but I do like being able to do FPP. And I'm actually enjoying doing the smaller sections more than I do the bigger sections.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I guess because I don't have to cut out as much fabric. I don't know. It's really weird. I didn't think I'd enjoy the small pieces. That's the part that terrified me the most. But now, like, I sometimes skip over the bigger pieces to get to the smaller ones. Carrie says, I get progress made on every time. I get progress made on something every time I join this. That is awesome, because, when I join a live and I'm in the chat, I get absolutely nothing done. So I'm glad that someone is actually getting some stuff done. But I also do hear from viewers as well that they put me on in the background while they sew. And that's fantastic as well, because, it's sometimes nice to have that white noise, or have someone that you're familiar with to hang out with. Because, we don't always have the luxury of having friends that live close by as well. So it's nice that we can kind of help fill that void here and there as well. So that's awesome. All right, Dawn has made a live. That is awesome. Dawn, we need to get you on the channel here at some point if you're interested. You and I need to talk about that. No pressure. If you don't want to, that's fine. But if you do, I would love to have you on at some point.
This is my first live. I've never done this before.
And you're doing a fantastic job. And I've actually had quite a few people, coming on with me has been their first live, So I do, anyone that says, hey, I'm thinking about doing a live, my immediate response tends to be, hey, do you want to come on and, get your feet wet? So.
And my thing is, I love watching you guys go live. You, Andy, and Amanda, and Tasha. Those are the ones I usually make it to. And I always think, like, what could I go live with? Because, like, could I just sew and talk about marketing at the same time? I don't know if I could do that. Like, this is hard.
It's practice. Like the first 50 times I did this, it was very weird. Now I've been doing this weekly pretty much for the last, 3 years, I guess.
Sounds about right.
And I've only got comfortable in the last year or so, I guess. So, don't feel like you have to get it right the first time. I would say definitely prepare yourself. Have some preparation, because I've told the story before where my first live I did was impromptu, and it was an absolute mess that lasted about 4 minutes, because it was just, I wasn't prepared for it. So definitely prepare yourself. Do a project that's easy. Don't be like me and get something with a million different pieces. That's an idea. I'll tell you that in just a second. Is Fallon here? Oh, good morning, Fallon. It's good to see you. I see Miss Donna is here with us as well, along with Katie. So good morning to each of you. Anyway, where was I talking? Oh, yeah, live. Yeah, just make sure you're prepared. That's what I would tell you. But just jump into it and just see. You never, we all have our niche, and people may jump on looking for you with the marketing thing, or you can do reviews of people's channels, and that sort of thing. Yeah, there's so many things you can do. Sit there and think about what you might want to do, and that sort of thing there. I mean, and people just come for the to come and hang out. I mean, I keep joking with Becca from the So Becca channel. I'm telling her she could come on a Friday night and do a Texas, and people would still come and watch. And I honestly believe that if she decided to do that one day, yeah, I'm gonna sit there and do my Texas. I'm not sure you the numbers, of course, and it should still have 500 people watching. So when when I started this, there was no one on a Saturday morning. And I was like, are people going to come and show up on a Saturday morning and watch me at 8 o'clock in the morning, or 7 o'clock Central, or whatever time it is, wherever they are? And every week we have 70, 80, 90 people. So, yes, the market is definitely out there as well. Okay. Mary says it's 5:30 where she is. So she just listens and watches. It's too early. So I totally get that. Dawn says we should have a legit Kits Live. I'd be all about that. I think you and I should do that. That'd be a lot of fun there as well. Okay, so Tasha is asking, did Tori tell us about her new channel and book goal yet? I stepped away for coffee. Well, it's going to wait a few minutes and do that a little later on, because as people filter on as time goes on, because we do start super early. And I wanted to get as many people in front of her as possible before we did that, just so she has a better chance of hitting that goal. We talked about it briefly, but we'll go into more detail in just a few moments. I think would be good. So
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
Problem. All right. So what is your favorite thing about quilting? Like, what step is it? Are you someone that likes picking out the fabrics? Are you someone that likes piecing? Are you someone that likes making the quilt sandwiches? Because if you do, I'll happily send you a stack.
There's probably two things I love most about it. One is the final product. I love having something finished at the end of a sewing session, at the end of making an actual quilt and being able to snuggle with it. I love that. I love the finished part of it. Which I don't think a lot of people really talk about, honestly. Now that I said that out loud, a lot of people don't talk about how it feels so accomplishing to finish even a step, a block in an amount of time, and then I'm having a full quilt at the end that is like I made that, and it lasts. I mean, our quilts have lasted for decades. That's probably my top favorite. But the other thing I'm really enjoying is free motion quilting. I got to rent a long arm from a shop that's about 30 minutes away, and I've been able to use it a handful of times because I also have littles. So I've got a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. So our weekends are usually really full, but I've been able to get down there a couple of times and warm back up with free motion quilting. And I really enjoy that. And I wish that I could fit a long arm and move it with us wherever we go, but that's not in the cards right now. So now I'm renting and I'm really loving, yeah, free motion quilting, I think is probably my favorite thing at the moment. What about you, Sean? I don't know your favorite part about quilting.
I think I've always said piecing, but yeah, I think I'm with like your suggestion of seeing the finished product is probably a very close second. So I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah, it's one of the reasons a lot of people say they don't enjoy binding, and I'm like, why? Because it's like the light is down the end of that tunnel, and it's getting brighter and brighter when you get to the binding. But I think quite a few people struggle with binding, whereas I don't. I've kind of got it figured out. Like I can knock it out fairly quickly, and it usually looks really good, and that sort of thing there as well. So
I like binding too, but I bind by machine, so maybe that's why I like machine
oh
binding.
yeah, I'm definitely a machine binder, and I even machine bind when I enter into quilt shows, and they've never said anything negative about it. So I think there's a story out there that says that you have to hand bind for a show, and that for some shows that may be 100% correct, but for the state fair that I enter, they don't seem to worry about that too much. So
Can I brag for a second?
of course.
I just bound a Halloween quilt right before Halloween, and it had been sitting on the back of my couch for since last Halloween. So I wanted to finish it before the next Halloween came up. And I grabbed what I set aside for binding, which was basically the extra black fabric I had. It's an orange and black quilt. So I just cut it into strips, right? 2.5 inches is what I do. I do 2.5 inches. I cut it into strips, sewed it together, and then I was like, oh wait, I never measured the quilt or the binding. Let me see if I even have enough. Sean, it was perfect. It
Oh wow.
overlapped by about 1.5 feet. And I was just like, how did I do that? But I did it by like, I don't know, intuition. Is that something that we do now?
So so you basically want it binding chicken.
Yeah. Yeah. I did. It was perfect. I was like, how did I do that? I called my sister like right away. I was like, guess what I just did?
That is awesome. I love that. You know, we've got bobbin chicken and thread chicken. And now we have binding chicken. I'm usually pretty good, but I also do measure it out. Like I calculate it and add like 20 or whatever it is. I think that, what is it? You add the circumference and then add 20, I think is the rule of thumb, or that's what somebody told me. I don't know. If I'm
Sounds
wrong on
like
that,
we think
usually,
most times.
yeah. So that kind of gives me an idea, and I always seem to have plenty left over. So, because you always get around that last corner and you're like, do I have enough? But you always do. So, there you go. Joyty, it's good to see you. I don't know that I said hello to you physically. Um, Susan says she loves the Fabric Patch Quilt Shop. It's about an hour away from her, so that must be out her way. Um, there we go. 5 hours from each other. Okay, very good. Yeah. All right. So with that, we have talked about our favorite part about quilting. Which step, if any, is your least favorite?
Cutting. Cutting because I get so nervous to like do it wrong. And then I lose the fabric. But that's a hard one journey with because I taught myself how to quilt, so it was a lot of mistakes. I did a lot of just patchwork, just squares because I was so afraid of cutting.
Right.
And when I first started like really getting into quilting again, right after we got married, I had my mom actually cut one of my quilts because I was so nervous to cut triangles. I was like, it's gonna get messed up. I don't know the angles. And she's like, you don't have to know angles. But at that point, I was too nervous to even cut to cut it out. So she helped me cut it, and then I sewed it all together. But yeah, that's probably my least favorite is still cutting. I get so nervous about it.
It's just fabric. You can always go get more.
Well, that's
You
the thing.
know.
I couldn't though then. I was living in a one-bedroom apartment with we had very little money. I couldn't get a job because I was, we were only there for 8 months.
Oh
So
yeah, that make it hard.
yeah, so that was part of the stress of it. I know there's a lot of quilters out there that do the same where they're like they thrift fabric, which I would have totally done if I had known that was a thing back then. But back then nobody really talked about how to find cheap ways to get fabric. It was like Joann's or a local quilt shop. And I didn't have a local quilt shop near me. I had a Joann's, which was great for that time. And it's kind of sad that it's gone now because I do have that's how I was able to start really quilting was because we had Joann's near us and now they're no longer in
Oh,
business.
definitely. Yeah. I'm sad they're gone too. Like I love being able to support my local quilt shop, but Joanne's was good if I needed something quick, like especially on it, because you always seem to need something on a Sunday.
Yeah.
You always run out of thread on a Sunday, or you run out of black or white fabric on a Sunday. And it was always good because like every local quilt shop in my area is closed on Sunday. Um, but yeah, if you were out of something on a Sunday, yeah, it was a 30-minute drive for me. But if I really wanted to go get something done, I could just jump in the car, duck over to Greenbrier or Hampton, and just grab what I needed and come back and grab it. Or I could order it online and just pick it up on the way home from the office. Like it worked out beautifully. But now they're gone. And then, yeah, what am I going to do? I think I finally figured out a solution for batting because, you could always buy a big roll of that for like 90 or $100 and that lasted you a year or two and that's gone. But um, it looks like Walmart has the same batting I used to use before and it's fairly reasonably priced. So, I don't say thank you to Walmart very often, but in this case, it looks like they may be coming to the rescue very soon when I need more batting. So there you go. Polly says sandwiching, LOL. This old body can't crawl around the floor any longer. Yeah, that's my least favorite. And My solution to that is go get yourself a fold up table, like a 4 foot, 6 foot, whatever you have room for in your house. I quilt sandwich on that now because I hated rolling around on the floor. It hurt my knees, even though I'm probably like 4 or 5 years younger than you are. Um, it's so much easier on a table. Just get yourself a fold up table. Fallon has an excellent video on that. Fallon, if you're still here and you have a link to that video where you did that table basting and quilt sandwich building, please put it in the chat for me. He released that a couple of months ago. It's a fantastic resource. That's how I do it. It's so much easier. I get a lot more sandwiching done now because I have that table, because doing it on this one here, it's a fairly small table, and it's also got stuff on here for my office and everything else. Definitely do. That's what I would tell you to do as well. Katie is asking me to ask you if you can tell us a bit more about the quilt behind you, the one there, the black and rainbow one.
Yeah. This was one of my original designs. I actually lost it, and I found it the other day. Like I mentioned, I was binding a Halloween quilt, and this was folded up in all my black fabric. I tend to have a stash of like black Kona because I used it in so many quilts. So this was like folded in there, and I hadn't realized it. So I pulled it out, and it's called Colors in Bloom. It's a study of the color wheel. That's what that is.
Oh, nice.
So I used to teach color. I used to teach color confidence for quilters, and then I did a master color class, and this was our project that we worked on. So on the inside, the project was to use their stash to create their own color wheel, and we did it in this it's raw edge applique. Did I mention I didn't sleep well last night? Raw edge applique. And the middle is the primary and secondary colors. The tertiary colors are on the outside, and then you got your neutrals on the very outside. And the reason why it's up here and I keep staring at it for the last couple weeks is because I totally messed up on the outer petals, and I missed one. And I was like 8 months pregnant at the time when I was making this. And so when I messed it up, I got frustrated and put it away. And that's why it was lost in my black fabric. And they're all fused on except for that top one. So I'm over here debating on how to fix it, how to change it, how to make it so I can finish the project. And because I've had it up over the last couple of weeks, I had a lot of suggestions. So if you have any suggestions in the chat, please let me know. What would you do to fix this? Because I used, I think it was Hotfix, not Hotfix, Hotfix. I think it was Hotfix to fuse it on. So it's like the really good sticky stuff. And ultimately, I'm going to long arm it. So I'm not going to applique it down first. I'm going to throw it on the long arm with backing and just do it that way. But Andy from True Blue Quilts, my podcast co-host, she suggested, and then one of our guests also thought it was a good idea, to cut out the flower around the first layer of neutrals and put it on a different background. And that's the decision that I have to like fully commit, because if I do that, it's going to be a skill that I haven't used in a long time. But I did pull out a backing fabric. Oh, not backing, but a background fabric. That is rainbow. It's got hexes on it, and
Oh,
it's
that's fun.
gold in there. Like, it's gorgeous. We got it at QuiltCon like years ago. I say we because I was there with my sister, but it's it's one of these where it fades all the way through the rainbow.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
That's what I'm thinking I'll do. I haven't fully committed yet, obviously, because it's just like hanging out. I have to like stare at it for a while before I make any decisions when it comes to something that complicated. But if you know how to take off applique that's been fused down, which from what I hear, I don't think that's a thing, let me know. And if not, what would you do to
Yeah, absolutely. Please tell us what you think, because um, it's always good to hear your ideas. Sometimes, like, the ideas that you come up with are better than what we have. So we're always wanting to hear that because it helps us out immensely.
and if you're watching this like past the live time, feel free to reach out, because I probably won't get to this for at least a few weeks. So it's probably gonna sit there for a bit.
Sorry, I was just updating something in the Fallon has put the link to her video in. So if you want to know how how to do the table basting, definitely go check it out. She did a wonderful job with her video. I plan on doing a similar video at some point, but whether it'll be done this year or 2029, who knows? But yeah, Fallon did a really good job with that. So definitely check it out. And if you're watching the replay, I put the link to that video in the chat. Not the chat, the description. I'll get it right there in a minute, so that way you kind of can find it as well. Because that was a suggestion that someone gave to me a month or two ago. They were watching the replay and they said that they really couldn't get access to the links that I mentioned in the chat, because once a live is done, YouTube processes it for like 10 or 12 hours, and then during that time you can't see the chat. Afterwards you can, but during that time, so like people come on like late morning, early afternoon, watch the replay, and they can't see the stuff in the chat. So I'm going to try and be more intentional about trying to add those into the description where I can. So there you go. Cappy says, morning all, Sean, use bed risers, so much easier on your back, not as far to bend down. That is an excellent option. I cheat. I usually just pin down the first row or two, and then I sit on the couch or the chair and just sit and pin base from there. So that's another option for you there as well. But yeah, if you are taller and you have the options to put in bed risers or something similar like that, it does help out immensely. So Donna says, Tori, iron it and the heat will lift it easy for you. I have messed up as well, so that's an option there for you. Donna has all. Yeah, Donna, if you ever have any questions, go ask Donna. She is a wonderful resource for all sorts of wonderful things. She's someone I'll go to, especially if it's FPP. She's one of the first people I'll reach out to and go, hey, what do I do here? She hasn't heard from me as much recently because I've kind of got it figured out for the most part. But when I started Toasty, I think I was emailing her, or texting her every other day, what do I do here? What do I do here? And she was always right back to me. She was fantastic like that. So Muriel says, I use a dowel rod to mount my batten. It's behind my table, so it's like a long arm setup to sandwich my quilts. Oh, that's fantastic. And then Donna's asking you, where can we find the pattern for that? Now, hang on. I do need to add you as a mod real quick so you can put the link in. So can you just say hi or something in the chat real quick so I can change your status? Good morning, Katie Cross. It's good to see you as well. Good morning, Miss. Did I see Donnell's in here? I don't know if I said hello to her easier. Layla says her 6-foot table lives behind a sofa in the den. It's ready to pop up when needed to make a sandwich. Yeah, mine sits behind my chair as well in the living room. So that way, whenever it's called to service, it's really easy to get to. That has been, it's been an absolute game changer for me. If you have the room where you can have a permanent table to set up on, that's fantastic, but not a lot of us are able to do that, unfortunately. Let's see, add as moderator.
I think I'm still just me.
Now you should have just received a notification. You should be good now.
Okay.
In theory. We'll soon find out, right?
Yeah.
All right. So good morning, Mr. John from Guys Craft 2. It's good to see you there as well. Dawn says, yes, Sunday sewing and Joanne's was there. So yeah, no, that apparently Michael's is supposed to be doing something. So I haven't checked. I've been on my local Michael's briefly the last couple of weeks, but I haven't had a chance to go wander around and look for the what's it called? Haven't had a chance to go and look for the fabric section yet, but that'll be on my list to do in the near future to see what they come up with, because yeah, if I can duck over there and grab something, that'd be good. I know Walmart has fabric, but trying to find someone to help you. Thank you, Nicole. I keep forgetting to take Tori off. It's the Tori show today.
He just likes the quilt in the background, that's all.
I do. I focused on you while you were talking about it, see if everyone could get a good look, and you just got an extra long look at it. So, okay. So yeah, let's talk about the book now, because Donnell says that she got the book yesterday and started reading it last night. Thank you. It's so interesting. So yes, Tori has published a book about let's let you explain it because I'm gonna butcher it.
It's a combination of course design and marketing. So it's called Workshops Unleashed: How to Design Engaging and Successful Workshops for Quilters and Crafters. So it helps you design a course and it helps you get the word out about it so you can get students in there. But yeah, that's essentially what it's about. So I have a background in instructional design and a curriculum and instruction. I got my master's degree in Texas. When I was there, we were there for probably 4 years. So I was able to teach in the public classroom for a few years there. And then when we moved here to Michigan, I was a tech trainer or a trainer for a tech company. So I used all of my background in teaching and my own experience teaching block of the months, teaching workshops in person and online, teaching nationally at guilds to create this book for teachers and quilters who were interested in teaching. Now it does have quilting examples, but all of the concepts in it can be used for any craft. So it's very much focused on handicrafts, like something that you would create in a class rather than something that you would learn through a method. However, I do use a few examples of color theory, like how to teach like a technique or a theory like color theory, because I was able to teach that for a few years. So I just dumped my master's degree and all of my experience of teaching quilting in a book for anyone who's interested in learning how to teach and become a better teacher. So it was like a passion project, and it's been wonderful to have something in print. Like I have dyslexia, so I never thought that I would be able to write a book. And that kind of dream entered my brain when I started pattern design. And I was like, wait, could I make a book? And at the time I was thinking like it would be a pattern book. And then when I shifted gears from pattern design and teaching workshops to quilters, I switched to teaching the teachers in quilting. And I did that for about 2 years, I want to say. Individually, probably longer, like 3 years. But I had a baby who didn't sleep, and I
Mm.
had a high needs son, and I had no time to like have a 10-week course like I was trying to teach. So instead, I put it all in the book, and that's where that came
I
from.
love that because it's part of what's it called? Donna's asked, can you hold the book up again to show us? And we'll get a link. Did you put the link in already, or was that something? Oh, that was for the pattern, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to work on the pattern. It was my iPad's being dumb, but I think it's working now.
Yeah, if you have a link to the book itself or your um oh, that's an idea. Yes, okay, I'll do that, Donna. Um that would be a good option there. Yeah, because I mean I'm very interested.
Okay, I got the pattern in there.
Yeah, I'm
For
very
the
interested in
book.
the book as well because like anyone that's been following me for a while, we talked it was like 6 months ago, I think it was, right after the Mid-Atlantic Quilt Show, we were talking about me possibly, or at least, having inkling of interest and maybe teaching a class or something at one of those quilt shows.
Mm,
And
alright.
I don't have the first idea what to do. Like I don't know what I'd even teach, or anything else like that. I mean, I kind of figured I might do like an Art East project or something with cotton cuts. I don't know. That'd be something fun, but that would be a wonderful resource for myself. So I'd probably be one of the people purchasing your book in the very near future. You do have a goal that you'd like to set by the end of the year, and it's to sell how many again?
100. I'm trying to sell 100, which feels a little crazy, but I'm gonna go
Hey,
for it.
you
We'll see.
go for the goal. If it doesn't, if you don't quite get there, it's okay. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Yes.
So definitely go check it out. It's available on Amazon. I think it's on Barnes and Noble and somewhere else, but I think Amazon was the cheapest, if I remember correctly. I think it was
Yeah,
24.
Amazon puts it randomly on sale. So like keep an eye out on Amazon. I don't have any control over when Amazon puts it on sale. But the best quality, if you're looking more for quality and if you're going to H&H, which is a trade show in May in Chicago, which is also doing a consumer show this next year. So that's going to be really cool. But I'll sign it for you. If you bring your book, I'll sign it for you. But the best quality you can get from this book is on Ingram Spark. It has the thicker paper, it has the better color, and it allows you to like write in it, which is really nice. Amazon, I did go the higher quality, so you can write in it as well. And of course, there's the ebook version, which is probably the cheapest if you want to go the cheapest. But the highest quality would be Ingram Sparks, and that's also the one through Barnes and Noble. So if you want to go through Barnes and Noble, you can also get the highest quality there. But yeah, it's all of those places, and it can ship anywhere in the world, which is awesome.
Awesome. Yes, definitely check that out if it's something you're interested in. As I said, I think I'll be getting myself a puppy fairly soon, so there'll be one less that you have to worry about to get to your goal. So that'll be good.
I saw a comment asking where I went to school in Texas. I actually went to A&M as well. It was in A&M Central Texas. So that's where I got my master's.
Nice. Jan says she has a question. I can't use safety pins to base my quilt. They are not good for left-handers. Does anyone else have the same problems? That's interesting because I am left-handed when it comes to, hang on, do I use that left-handed? Now I got to think about it. Look, come here, you. Yeah, I do it left-handed. Are you using the curve pins, Jan, because I don't have a, maybe it's just I figured everybody had this, but I'm able to do it fairly easily. So maybe try some different ones and see if that helps you out. But yeah, I'd love to hear in the comments too if anyone else has issues with basting or using pins if you're left-handed. We've got the part of the head of the dog done already.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, been here for an hour and that's what I got done, like 12 pieces of fabric, but that's okay. We're having a good time here. So all right, Amanda says it's an amazing book. I've read it a couple of times and reference it often. The book club Tori does for it is so good. So yeah, it sounds like you've got a couple of fans here already, and said I'm very interested in this. I think I'm something that I'm going to actually get for myself in the very near future and check it out.
If you get it before January, we are doing I have a free, and now I'm going to do like an upgraded paid version where you get personalized feedback. So it's a free book club. You can go free. That's to help you stay accountable so you can actually get through the book, because that's like the biggest roadblock for so many who begin teaching is that they start and then they lose momentum, or they lose like motivation, or they get stopped by a question like, how do I get the word out about this? How do I teach them, like teach them, not just demonstrate and sew in front of them, but teach them. And that's where the book kind of goes into detail about that. But we do a book club to keep you accountable, to help you keep going, to cheer you on. And then I'll have the paid version where you can get actual feedback from me, where you turn in your curriculum map, you turn in your class description, and I give you direct feedback. And then we have live calls as well. So that's something we're doing in January if you want to do it with other people, if you want to read and make a class with other people. And it is written for hobby quilters as well. So if you just want to teach at your local guild and want to have a really cool class to teach, or if you're teaching online, you can also use everything in here. It's for in-person and online. And I also included guild programs. So there are guild program outlines. So Sean, like you were talking about going to a quilt show, they have both lectures and classes at some of these bigger quilt shows at least. And it has templates in there for you to do both of those.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not committing to any classes just yet. So if you're looking to get to my next class, you still all have plenty of time. But, I think it'll be a good resource for me. It'll be good for even like teaching on YouTube, as well. So I think for me, it's going to be a fantastic resource. So yeah, if you're interested in that, please look at Tori's channel and the links that we provided and that sort of thing there as well. I think it'll be a wonderful resource for quite a few of us. So
I did have Beth Ann Williams, who has a YouTube channel. She started hers earlier this year. She did tell me that she used the book to help her YouTube channel. So that was really cool to see. Oh,
absolutely.
I am in Metro Detroit. I was going to say Detroit, but I wanted to be a little more specific. But yeah, Metro Detroit is where I am.
Very nice. Have not made it to Michigan yet. It's not one of the states I've been to.
We're loving it. So, like I mentioned, military spouse. I'm a military spouse. We've lived in, I like to call it a smiley face. So, we're originally from California, like Southern California, and I lived in the Bay Area for college for a few years. And then, so we've lived in California, Arizona, Texas, South Carolina, and then we moved. Oh, yeah, I said Arizona, and then Georgia, and then we moved up to Michigan. So it's kind of like the oddball out of all the places where we've lived, and we're loving it up here.
That's good. I couldn't handle your winters. That'd be a little too intense for me.
I do like the cold. I think that helps.
Kids came home from they went to the high school homecoming game last night, and oh yeah, they came home last night. Noah freezing to death. I mean, it was only like 55 degrees outside, but I was like, Nadi, you're from Bulgaria. I figured you'd be used to the cold. So poor things. I mean, it's been warm here recently, so I guess we kind of get um used to it all being warm, and then you get a nip of cold, and it feels like you're ready to freeze to death. Um, yes, that's a good point. Layla says winter is just right in Virginia, and I think I have to agree with that comment there as well. So yes, and Layla says, Sean, don't forget the role of name tags of a holder class. Yes, you'll have to remind me of that if and when it ever happens, because that is so true. I will need my roll of name tags because I will forget your name in a hot minute. So thank you for that word of encouragement. I appreciate that. Paula says the UP, which I'm assuming is not the Union Pacific, but the Upper Peninsula. Is that right?
Yeah, the UP.
How you
I
can
haven't
tell you
actually
work in
gotten
transportation without saying you work in transportation is when you see UP and think the Union Pacific. Um, I'm on the East Coast. The nearest Union Pacific train to me is about 2,000 miles away. So there you go. Yeah, I've heard it's really nice up there. Um,
we
Katie
haven't got a
Cross
chance.
is saying, sorry, go ahead.
We haven't got a chance to go up there yet. We've been about an hour north, but that's about it.
Yeah, one day we'll make it up there. Uh, okay, so Donna had a question, but you've already answered that. She's apparently having a treat up there, so she may be looking to partner with you or do something with you. So I'm going to pass along her contact information to you afterwards, so that
Yeah,
way you can reach out to her.
love that.
Donna hosts a couple of treats now. She's done one in Pennsylvania the last few years, but then she just did one in Tennessee a few weeks ago, which Donnell went to, among others,
Cool.
and that sort of thing there as well. So, good morning, Nanette. It's good to see you. Good morning, Miss Paula. It's good to see you as well. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Apparently, you can use a spoon to help with pins. Apparently, there's YouTube videos on it. I'm going to have to go check that out. I mean, I don't really have an issue using safety pins, but that would be interesting if you struggle with that. Apparently, you can use a spoon to help you out with that. So yeah, if you're like Jan, who has suffered in silence all these years using safety pins, the simple kitchen spoon may be a solution for you. I'm going to go check it out to see how it is. It might be it might be something that's going to help me out that I didn't know I needed help with. Who knows? It'd be so interesting if it was. So you learn something new every day here. You just never know what you're going to come on to. Oh, that sounds interesting. Paula says she's putting binding on 3 king-size quilts this weekend. Well, that will keep you busy for a while.
Ooh, that's an arm workout for sure.
I know. Yeah, just wrangling those quilts. As you're doing the binding seems to be an arm workout. So Tasha's off to a last soccer game for the season. Yippee. Well, good. Hopefully the little one does well in those games.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember I was doing a fairly big quilt a few years ago. It was a t-shirt quilt, I think, and I was doing the binding, and the quilt was getting heavier and heavier and heavier, and I'm like, what is going on here? And then I finally realized it's because there's a 25-pound dachshund sitting on it. I'm
That's
saying to
funny.
get off my quilt. So that's what it was. And then apparently there's a product out there called a quick clip, which really helps out as well. Barbara's mentioned it, and
Oh.
someone else was saying that as well. So Paula says a friend has a place in Lake Goji Bick. We were up there last month for a girls' sewing weekend. It was beautiful. Katie starts saying she hopes everyone's having a good weekend so far. And then Eleanor Burns apparently uses the spoon method there as well. So there you go. So that's an option out there for you if you're interested, or you're like me, just curious about it. So there you go. All right, what are we doing here? Got to add G.
Ooh, she has this class suggestion for you.
Oh, that's an idea. Yes, thank you, Teresa. I might have to look into that.
That's a great topic. That's how a lot of quilters get into quilting, is for t-shirt quilts or baby
Yeah,
blankets. Those
that
are like the two top ones.
I never even thought about that, but that might be a really, really, really good idea. So yeah, she's saying maybe a course on t-shirt quilts. That would be a good option. So yeah, Cappy's saying that the quick clips are awesome as well. So yeah, go check those out. Um, that might be a good option there for you guys. All right, Amanda says that they're a retreat in Michigan. She has to know about it. She's up that way. Yeah, she's not
Yeah.
far from there as well. So it looks like Donna might be filling up her retreat sooner than she thinks.
I have a few friends that would love that too, that live here or in the state.
Yeah, Michigan's a bit of a hike for me. So, all right, where are you? There, H. Yeah, I'm going to goof this up if I'm not careful.
I think we're gonna go to Pumpkin Patch this weekend because we went last weekend, but I want to go do another one. I love the pumpkin patches here. They're so much fun.
Yeah, we might be. That's where we're taking the girls later today ourselves. So that'll be good.
I love that they have this is the first place I've lived where they've had like the rat races where they have the giant like cylinders that you run in and they have like pedal cars to race and they have those
Oh, that's
duck
fun.
races with the water pumps and like all these like I don't know if it's
Traditional.
all vintage games or just like farm games that are just like really hands-on and really cool. I love getting my kids in there.
Well, that's fun. I hadn't heard of those, but
Yeah, this is the only place we've lived. Like I said, we've lived all over the southern United States, and this is in Michigan was the first place I'd seen games like that, and it's been really cool. And they're big, so like adults can actually get in and do the games too. So if you're like me, you like to play like a little kid, you can get in there and play with your kids or maybe grandkids. 'Cause I know we have quilters are oh
yeah,
oh
it's fun to play games. We actually did that earlier this week. We went out for a team building event at work, and they sent us to this place just outside Baltimore, and we played a couple of games. Like it was like an archery game with foam tip things, and that was fun. But the one I remember the most was bubble soccer. You go into these big, huge bubbles and run around, played soccer with it. So
that's
that
hilarious.
was very interesting. Thankfully, the games were only 3 minutes long because she got very hot very quickly inside these big bubbles. But it was a fun experience, and even though I got knocked over a couple of times, um, it was a lot of fun. So
That sounds like a lot of fun.
there you go.
Oh, thank you.
We got a few minutes left before we should start heading out.
Oh, wow, I did quite a bit. Look, I got a whole banner now.
Oh, very nice.
I get to cut them apart. Well, I
It always
appreciate
looks
you
like
inviting me on. I got a lot more sewing done than I've done in a bit. So thank you.
I keep hearing that. Sometimes I don't get a whole lot of sewing done, but my guest always seems to get a lot of sewing done. So it's always a nice little benefit.
I do kind of like the idea of going live and sewing and talking marketing. I think that would be kind of fun.
Yeah, give it a shot. Yeah, maybe look into, if you want, get some guests, because I find having a guest makes it a whole lot easier because then you have someone to talk to as well, in addition to the audience.
Yeah.
I think I would struggle doing it solo. Like I admire those people that can do it solo, but it's not for me unless I have to.
I bet Andy would be game for that.
I'm sure she would.
Andy from True Blue Quilts.
Is she here yet? Or is she still sleeping?
I don't think I've seen it. Well, she's on the Pacific coast. Well,
Yeah,
she's in Arizona, but like she's on Pacific time.
yeah, but she'll be back with us. What? Doesn't the time go back to? No, it's next week.
Yeah, that's right. So she'll only be 2 hours behind because they don't change time. That was the
No,
best about living in Arizona, not changing. We didn't have to worry about the time change when we lived there. That was really cool. It was annoying for my family, but like it was cool for me and my kids. So we didn't have to do that whole because when the kid, you change the time on the little kids, they get really grumpy for like a
all the
week while
dogs.
they're adjusting. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's nice.
we'll have to start adjusting the dog's time as well because you go from feeding them at 5 o'clock in the evening to 6. Yeah, because you fall back an hour. They start looking for their dinner at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard. So yeah, we'll have to start moving the time back so they don't get too confused. They seem to like it when we spring ahead because they get dinner an hour earlier than they used to. But yeah, when they fall back, they get very, very confused, the poor little things. Susan says, when her kids were small, loved taking them to the pumpkin patches here. I live in an agricultural region on the east side of the Cascade Mountains in
Oh, I
Washington.
bet
Oh, that's
that's
fun.
gorgeous. I bet it's gorgeous over there.
I'm sure. Is it, I'm assuming that the leaves and that have started changing up where you are.
Me, yes. Oh, obviously me. I'm your guest, right? I'm the only one here. But yeah, they started changing a few weeks ago. It's funny because there's like a group of trees that do it first, and then a second group of trees that do it next. So like the first group is losing their leaves already. They've already turned colors and are starting to drop. And then the second group has just started. So we've got this nice mix of fall and this winter vibes starting to come. And this was like the first night. It was like last night was like no, not last night, but the night before was the first night got down to the 30s. So we're getting there. It really feels like fall now. Whereas like 2 weeks ago, it was like 70. Like it was nice.
Yeah, that's how it's kind of been here. It's been really warm, and then the last few nights it's been a little chillier. The leaves are starting here, but like even as the further you drive north, it changes. Like when I was in Baltimore early this week, it was a whole lot different up there than it was even here, and we're only 150 miles south. It's not that far. So, but if you ever get a chance to go up to like New England or where it really changes, it's well worth going up there and taking a look because it's you see the movies and the TV shows with the fall and all these beautiful bright colors, and you figure someone's um done their Hollywood magic with it, but they haven't. It really is just like the movies up there. It's really, really neat to see. I've seen it a couple of times now, and it never gets old.
It's gorgeous. They're like neon colors.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
I didn't realize it either until we moved up here that how bright the leaves can actually get. And it's so pretty.
Yeah. Susan says there's so many colors up here. It's beautiful. Carrie says they've all fallen at her house up there in Maine. So yeah, it's interesting how it's different. Like if you drive from here up to upstate New York, you'll see it like you start up here in southeast Virginia, and it's a little bit, but as you keep driving north, it just gets prettier and prettier and prettier. So Central Park at this time of year is beautiful too in New York City.
I bet.
We
Brenda
get
is
to see it.
saying soup and chilly weather. And I have to agree with that. Definitely soup and chilly weather.
There you go. Nicole says they have a lot of fall festivals here in mid-Missouri, pumpkin patches, corn mazes, and hay rides. I love fall. Yeah, I think fall is now like my favorite season. It used to be summer, but now fall's just fun. There's so many fun events. You got your apple picking, your pumpkin patches, the yeah, just all sorts of stuff. The state fair. It's just yeah, it really has become my favorite.
Yeah, fall's always been my favorite. I like
Yeah,
to
what is
imagine the
everyone's
trees.
favorite?
I grew up in the desert, so like when I get around like trees like we are up here, I am just like so excited because we get to go to the mountains sometimes in California, but like and like the redwoods are amazing, but
Oh yes, they
here,
are.
love the trees here. I love the forest. It's so pretty.
Yeah, I got to see the redwoods when we were out in Northern California. No, they were neat to see.
It feels like you're with the dinosaurs, like this is how the dinosaurs must have like lived up there with the redwoods.
You know what? I never thought of it that way, but that makes so much sense. Yeah, it does.
Like I always see the ferns up there. Like you got the gigantic trees, and you got these big, beautiful ferns, and it just looks like prehistoric.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way sometimes in the um, rainforest in Australia. All those ferns and that sort of thing there, and it's a little cooler than it would be in the Jurassic Park era. But yeah, I kind of feel like vibe too. Nature say something. So Susan says next fall she'd like to visit her daughter in upstate New York to see the colors. Yeah, if you get a chance to do it, go for it. That'd be awesome. Okay, you have.
10. What?
I think there might be a typo. I don't know how we got you to
Oh, that's
680.
the oh, I think that's the quilt patch one. So that's my old one, which I had that one
Oh,
for about
okay.
5 years. I think 5 years I've had that one. I have a few pretty decent videos on there from when I very first started on YouTube. My very first time I tried to record anything, I put it on YouTube. So you can see
There you
like
go.
baby Tori, baby business Tori over there.
Yep.
Oh, I totally lost count. That's okay.
Brenda says road trip, Susan. My daughter went to New York City for a senior class trip. She said I'd love New York. Yeah, I think Brenda, you would like New York too. Be It's a beautiful city. I've been there a few times. Always enjoy it. There's always something new to see there. Just together, and then we'll.
There's a road here that they not a road, but it's like a route that people know, which I heard about last year, where you drive this route that you can see the best of the fall leaves. And it's like a 4-hour drive where you could just drive through all the trees and see all the beautiful colors.
Oh, that sounds fun. Sounds a bit like Skyline Drive in Virginia or the Blue Ridge Parkway. Apparently, it's pretty busy up there this time of year. I don't think I've ever done it, but good morning, Miss Reader. It's good to see you. Jan says she's going to Streaky Bay, South Australia for Christmas, heading over in the caravan early December. Well, that sounds fun. Yeah, my dad and stepmom just did a trip across the Nullarbor a week or so ago. So it was really fun to see their photos, and I'm looking forward to seeing yours. Hopefully, you'll post some on Facebook for me. So there you go. Brenda says she loves plays and ballet and good food. Well, yep, New York City sounds like a place for you then. So there you go.
I got to
All
see Chitty
right.
Chitty Bang Bang in New York. That was pretty fun.
You got to see who?
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, that would have been fun. I
They
love
actually
that
like
movie.
lifted the car off the stage, which was cool. We were that was our middle school trip. So I was in middle school, I was like 13. So that was cool to see a play at 13 and
Oh
um
yeah, definitely.
they do with that, yeah.
Yeah, what was it? One when we were up there one time with my dad and sister and that, um, the girls went to go see Lion King on Broadway, and they loved that. And then my dad and I went and just explored the city for a little while because we figured all we'd do is fall asleep. So um, we figured that was a very expensive nap. So we went down and looked around some different places, and then we met up with them afterwards. So this is what I've got done right here. So we see the head of the dog and then part of his neck vertebrae, I guess you can call it. So we're making a little bit of progress there as well. So good morning, Miss Jacqueline. Good to see you. Tori, do you want to tell us just a little bit more about your channel real quick and anything that you might have coming up? And then after that, I think we'll go ahead and say our goodbyes because we've got a action-packed day filled for the girls. So
Yes. So my channel is focused on digital marketing for makers. I am a quilter. I specialize with quilt pattern designers, quilting teachers, and long arm service providers. And then I have that goal of trying to sell 100 books by the end of the year. This is Workshops Unleashed: How to Design Engaging and Successful Workshops for Quilters and Crafters, which helps with any learning experience. It has a little bit of course design, a little bit of marketing to help you be successful in all of your classes. But those are the two main things that I'm focusing on right now with the channel, is helping you guys understand how to get the word out about what you're doing. So whether you're teaching, you're pattern designing and stuff like that, you can find your people and help the quilters who want to learn and want to create these beautiful things.
that is awesome. And then I will be back tomorrow morning with my podcast in the morning. So yeah, definitely check that out as well. So, well, thank you very much. Nicole says it's a cute block. Jan says she's got to duck off the bed because it's getting late where she is. Susan says my daughter lives an hour and a half from Buffalo in the Finger Lakes region. That's a pretty area of the world there as well. And then Tori, not Tori, Dawn says she has to go as well. So yeah, I think with this, Leanne says she lives along the Appalachian Mountains and the leaves are peaking right here now. And it's so beautiful. Yes, that's a wonderful state there as well. So thank you all for joining us today. It's been wonderful having you on, Tori. Thank you for joining me. Thank you everyone for watching today. If you're watching the replay, definitely say hi in the comments for us. If you liked the video, hit that like button on the way out. It always helps us out immensely. And we will see you all over at Tori's channel or my channel in the very near future. Thanks again for joining. I hope you all have a great day. Happy sewing, and hopefully Jack stays away. Have a good day, and we'll see you all next time.
Everyone.
Bye.